Yes, I run a YouTube channel personally, and I make cosplay music videos, so I spend a lot of time at conventions. You met me last year. Yes, I remember. Yeah, that happened. So I'm going to go over just kind of how I got started, and maybe that will help you get started if that's something you want to do.
So, I'm going to notes, prepared, I don't like it. I'm only going to be winging it. Not a lot smiling crazy, so he's going to be fine, we'll be fine.
Everything's going to be okay.
So, I suppose what the beginners or something with photography might be having is that your image is coming out shaky. You don't know why, you're full auto, you're expecting the camera's going to do it for you. Yes, do agree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and help you understand how the camera works and why you just come out blue. So if you look at the first shoot I've done with, you'll find it's called exposure triangle. And it uses three areas to balance your image in determining its exposure. The main one we're going to be looking at is its shutter speed, and this is what's going to cause the majority of your work. Your camera in auto is trying to operate at a low shutter speed so that you get enough lighting to expose your image correctly. But we're making the shutter speed low, then any movement on your side or subject side is going to be causing that. So the easiest way to combat that, if you're not comfortable with combat auto, stabilise yourself. Whether it be using a tripod or bracing yourself against a table like this. It really is that simple. Brace yourself up against the wall, sit on the floor, get a nice unique angle, you'll be surprised at different sorts of shots you'll get. Just changing your angle and position. You have my wife over there. Say hello, sir. She's going to phrase give them a little jab because that's where she does the most of the job with her photography from. And she gets an interesting perspective because of it. So, my intention there is that when you're in a low-light environment, such as inside the hall, it may seem right to my eyes, but to your camera sensor, whether it be a phone, a bridge camera, or DSLR, it's going to need to work a little bit harder to see how well you do it. It's going to put the shutter speed down to do that. Now, who here is comfortable coming out of auto?
Mike, you don't count.
That's fair enough. So this is something you need to be fine. To be aware of the shutter speed. I'm going to say something a bit controversial here. This is absolutely fine to take pictures with. Don't think that just because you're using a mobile phone, you are not going to get decent images from it. Especially with phones these days, they can have a bit better technology. But here's the kicker. So you've got big, more bridge cameras. They're bridge cameras. So they're in between DSLRs and phones as opposed to call them. You expect them to be SDS level, they use the exact same sensor you'll find in the phone. The exact same size. You'll get fantastic images out of this. All you need to do is know stabilising yourself is the biggest improvement they can make. So here does have issues with blurry photos. Nobody, I'll just ramble on like that for no reason. Oh, do.
Thanks, sir.
Don't be afraid to speak up. There are no wrong answers. We all start somewhere. I've had a lot of blurry photos myself when I started, so definitely not so much now. So, let's go around it. You know what, let's make this a bit more interactive. We're at the interactive stage. Hello. What's your name? Lizzie, what's your main problem you have when you take photography? Do you have a particular area you struggle with?
I mainly just use my phone, like video processing, but I mainly just use my phone.
She's mine. Back off.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll steal it from you. What do you reckon? Pretty fair?
I'll fight you.
Yeah, I guess with my phone, it's like mainly sometimes I'll take a photo, like,
imperfections and all the all the shadows and all that kind of stuff. It's sort of highlighting what we want to do.
So what happens is we as photographers maybe go to take a shot out, any one of us, we have a particular image in mind. From the moment we click that shutter, we want the image to turn out a certain way. And sometimes, especially when we're shooting in auto, it doesn't work out, which can be a little frustrating. Thankfully, you'll find this is why a lot of photographers use editing software. Now, this isn't some huge big Photoshop, we're going to turn this person into a dragon sort of thing. No, I can't do that, absolutely. But at its very basic core, Lightroom, it's called Lightroom because it's the digital form equivalent of a darkroom. Use it to process the images just like you would when you use film. So for you, I'd recommend if you use your phone a lot, absolutely. Adobe do offer the mobile version of Lightroom for free.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
There's also a free kind of alternative called Lightzone. If you're looking for alternatives to Adobe, who have recently been very iffy with some of their corporate practices. Just to let you know.
Yes, absolutely. I am always a fan of the alternatives. So yeah, what I'd say is get your image into one of those editors and have a play around with the levels, with exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, blacks and whites. So just have a play around with them. I don't know about Lightbox, but the same with Lightroom, that it is a non-destructive process, which means that whatever changes you make will not affect the original, keep the original and make you a new version. Hopefully it'll get more what you're after. Right, for example, I'm sitting here using lighting off weight, you've got one shadow here and the highlights are over here. Now if I took a photo of you in auto, I would either have this directly exposed and this would be blown out very white. And the other end of the scale, this would be dark and this would be directly exposed. So when you're taking the shot yourself, look somewhere in the middle and then use the photo editing software to understand. So, excellent, no worries. So, what's your name? Carry on. Do you have a particular area which you struggle with? Well, that's fair enough. Does anybody else would like to volunteer with a particular issue they have? Anybody at all? No? Are we all shy? You can't be shy as photographers.
That's true. You have to be willing to, like, not bully people, but kind of certainly march up to total strangers and ask to take their photos. Yeah, exactly. I think I can see 4 different people in this audience that I have done that exact thing with. So.
But it works though, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I mean, the thing you have to remember with this, especially with cosplay photography, I think the thing about shooting at conventions is it's not like shooting at other events, which I think all of you know. You have to ask anyway that you don't necessarily need to at other events. Other events you go, you shoot for atmosphere, you can take pictures of people, and it doesn't really matter if you ask them or not. Whereas this is like a mental cosplay audience, so you all know perfectly well. You want people to ask, you want to be able to pose yourself properly. So it's kind of giving that courtesy back when you're on the other side of the camera and making sure that that you ask people first, that you let them know that it's okay for us, that you're not going to be huffy about it. I think some people are afraid to say no to me sometimes, which, you can. I'm not going to get mad. Like, if you don't want to be in the video, you don't want to be in the video. I'm not going to be upset about that.
And that's something as well. If you're going to be shy starting off with it, you need to take pictures of the cosplay that you see. That's particularly interesting. Still a bit of a scrimmage. The easiest way to do that is body language. Sometimes it's as easy as holding the camera and pointing to it. Take a picture, please. And people are really responsive to that. Is you either get no thanks, yeah, sure, straight into the pose. I'm amazed at how many cosplayers have pose prepared. It's great. It makes it easy on my left side. Absolutely. So but you can't be afraid to step up as photographers and really believe it.
Literally. Can be afraid to literally step up. Yeah.
But whether you're an amateur, whether you're an experienced pro, it's all about the deception of your images are as good as you leave them to be, if that makes any sense at all.
Set yourself up for success, basically.
Yeah. If you go into it half-hearted, you're going to get through in the book. So I think I probably rambled on a bit more. I'm losing a bit of interest here, so I'm going to move over to the more exciting side, videography.
Hello. I'm going to stand up for this bit so people can see me, the concept. So like I say, I'm a cosplay music video maker. I'm also standing too close to the video. And I make cosplay music videos for YouTube. I've been doing this for this is my second year of doing it consistently. So my very, very first music video I made in sorry, stop waving at me. My very first music video I made back in 2014 with Thought Bubble. I've been volunteering with Thought Bubble for about 10 years. And it was terrible. It could have been worse, but it wasn't very good. For a number of reasons, which was that I just didn't know a lot of things around the type of video that I was making, the way I needed to sort of set myself up in order to make a video like that. So when it comes to making videos yourselves, I think the first thing you need to think about is what do you want to make? And if you don't know what you want to make, think about what you like to watch. I like watching CMVs, I make CMVs. I like watching montages, I make montages. That's always been kind of my area. So if that's the kind of thing you want to do, then, look, get on YouTube. It's an amazing resource. There's some really amazing filmmakers out there. Steve Zebra is another cosplay music video maker. It's Explore, Electrospectrum, they're all incredible videographers, and you can learn a lot just by watching their end result and think, oh yeah, I could do that, I could do X, Y, Z. The other thing is considering how far you want to go in terms of spending money. Photography is not a cheap hobby. We love it at designers. So my gear, this is usual setup. So what I have here, so I have my DSLR, I have a mechanical gimbal, there's two kinds of gimbal. So there's this one which is just metal lights, and then this one over here has a little motorized gimbal which will do much smoother shots than I would be able to make with this one, very jazz. And then consider your lenses. So if you decide to buy a DSLR, a lot of DSLRs will come in like a package, so you'll have the body, the lens. Is anyone else hearing really shriek the sounds from my devices? I'm so sorry. So this setup that I have is also not quickly. This setup that I have is pretty much ideal for the kinds of things that I want to make. So I wouldn't shoot interviews on this gear. It just wouldn't really do it. The lens is too wide. I don't have a microphone. I'd have to hold this up rather than sticking it on a tripod like over there, and that is going to get very shaky very quickly because I don't have any muscle. I've lost track of where I was going. But my point is that kind of consider where you want to start and then go from there. Think about it and everything you can make. So I make CMVs, which involves a lot of me running around and running backwards, crashing into all that jazz. And so it means that I need to make sure that everything I do is really steady. If I try to freehand any of that with my DSLR or even with the phone, I'm going to end up with very shaky footage. It's going to be really hard to edit and post and make it look good. There's no guarantee that I'm actually going to be able to make footage from that, which is why I bought the gimbal. So that the weights that I have here counterbalance the weight of this, and it allows me to do that kind of thing and to make those smooth shots. However, if you're not bothered about doing any of that, and you'd rather go around and do vlogs, or you'd like to do interviews and things like that, you want to. You don't really need kind of that same level of power smoothness. So there's loads of ways that you can make that easy. You could do it on your phone. If you just get like a selfie stick or something like that, even something that will actually make it a lot easier than just holding it in your hand. Your hand has a lot of tremors that you don't realise because humans have muscles and nerves and stuff, and it just kind of none of them are ever steady. Or even just like a little tripod. You can get like a little gorilla pod for really cheap off eBay. eBay is too much for cheap camera equipment, and you can just sort of set things up. You can bounce stuff on other stuff and get it that way. If you do decide that interviews involves the kind of things you want to do, one thing I absolutely would recommend would be to make sure that you have good sound. Now, one of the things that have been impressed upon me again and again is that people will forgive certain things, but they won't forgive others. So if your video isn't great and it's kind of shaky, and it's a little bit or it's a little blurry, or it's too dark, people can get over that if your sound is okay. However, if you have an amazing video and things are beautiful and the colour's gorgeous, if your sound is terrible, they're gone. That's it. They just won't want to listen to it. That's kind of the trade-off there. So if you do decide you want to do interviews and things like that, get a microphone. Even if you don't have to get like a shotgun mic or anything like that, which is the type that sits on top of the camera. You can get like a little clip-on mic for really cheap. I got one for less than a tenner, again, eBay. Or if you're really struggling, these record sound. Put them in, like if someone has a pocket here, just stick them in there, it'll record the sound for you. And then you can match it up later. And the way to do that is to make like a big noise of some description, like a clap. Or that's what clapperboards are for, actually, in film. So you see the action, that's what that's doing, is so you can match up the sound later. I have talked for a very long time. Does anyone have any questions? You wanted to do video, go on, ask me things.
The big one you today, aren't they?
Amazing. I'm just, yes, apparently. What time is it? Oh, it's not even 1 o'clock yet. I've got ages. We're supposed to have a third person, but he's I don't know. He's almost retired. Composition. Yes, posing. Let's talk about posing. So, composition in photography and videography can be tricky if you don't already have an idea of what you want to do. So, again, people have worked with me, you'll know this, where I just sort of stand and think for 2 minutes straight, and you just sort of stare at me very awkwardly. I promise my brain's doing things. But there's lots of things to consider, like what's the light doing, what's around you, what's the character of your cosplay, and things like that. So, for example, Marceline the Vampire Queen, who's just walked in, if I was shooting with you, I might sit you down somewhere, you've got a ukulele, I'd get you to strum, things like that. Like Dan and Aaron at the back, I've just shot with you guys, and you just did some very nice walking, some nice pointing with guns. And as a cosplayer, some hot tips. This is a bad shot. I get this so much when people point a gun, and I'll be like, right, point your gun towards the camera, and I do this, and they've immediately lost their face. So shoulders down is a big one for things like that. Like consider, like when you are yourself posing it, consider like what's being covered, things like that. I see a lot of people when they're doing like fight scenes, they'll turn their backs to the camera and do this, and I'm like, I can't see the rest of your question. That's the point. So, like things like that, like consider what you can see and what you can't see. When you're moving, like consider the space around you. Like I said before, I crash into people all the time. Be prepared to apologise a lot if you do a lot of running backwards like I do. I'm starting to get a real weird feedback from hearing myself in the speaker. I feel like my voice is real. What else? The other thing to consider as well is, so if you decide that you want to make cosplay music videos and then editing afterwards, think about what you're going to do with the editing while you're composing your shots. So if you're getting very fast clips and things like that, you want to consider that you don't want to have too much visual information in your shot. So if you have like a massive wide open space, you're just going to lose, like, people's attention can't absorb that much information in like a 1 second clip. And 1 second is actually quite a lot of time. You wouldn't think it, but when you were actually cutting things up and putting it to music, a second you can actually fit a lot more. So you can do like a series of close-ups and each of those close-ups will be probably less than a second each. Like what you're really working is frames. Oh, that was the thing I was going to talk about. Frame rates. Oh, I nearly forgot. So when you're shooting in video, one of the settings on your camera will be your FPS, your frames per second. So the standard FPS that you see in movies and television is between 24 and 40. Usually 24, 25. And when you see things at 30, you're thinking like soap operas. Everything's just like a little bit too realistic, if you know what I mean. super HD, it seems like, and it's not ideal. I shoot in 50 frames per second because I work in slow because I shoot in 50 frames per second. I have to set my shutter speed to 100 when I'm working, and I can't go any higher or lower than that, otherwise it gets really janky. And so these are all these kinds of considerations that you have to bring in. And so, yeah, and the other thing is as well, is the higher your frame rate, the lower the quality of your video. So 24, 25, 30, really nice. Most cameras will shoot in 4K. Once you get up to 100, 120, that's when it starts to suffer. So I think your Sony a6500 shoots 120 frames per second in general. But it won't shoot the resolution won't be any higher than 1080. Is it 1080? Oh, does it shoot 4K for you? Oh, nice. Fancy pants. Oh, gosh. But a lot of cameras will do this where it'll shoot 4K at lower frame rates, and then the higher you go, the lower the resolution gets and the lower the quality. And there's things you can do to sort of. I feel like video is kind of you spend a lot of time counteracting your own settings. So for example, I shoot at 50 frames per second and 100 shutter speed, so I have to counteract the fact that I can't get any more light in with the shutter speed by opening up the aperture. Now the aperture is what it sounds like, it's a hole in your camera basically, in your lens that opens and closes to let more light in around. And if your aperture number is very slow, it's letting more light in. So for example, in here, my aperture on the lens that I have goes down to 4.5. And so when I have it that open, I can get way more light in. I can, do a lot more with that. And then on top of that, you can also adjust the ISO. ISO stands for International Standards Organization. It is the one time that people have been able to agree on things across the world. And it is to do with to do with light. So the higher your ISO, the more light, the lower your ISO, the less light. So it goes from like 200 to, mine goes up to 6400, but other cameras will go higher. The problem then is that the higher your ISO is, the more grain you get. So if you have a low ISO, then it's not letting as much light. But if you already have a lot of natural light, then that's not really a problem. Which is why if I was to film with you today, I'm going to take you outside. Because that's where the light is. Natural light, as a videographer, is very, very helpful. It's a lot harder to shoot with artificial light. So, for example, if you have like a lot of flash and everything, Mike has his enormous flash. If everyone turns to the left, towards the left. Sorry, Mike, you're proper now. So Mike works with flash a lot, and we've met a lot of times before. He doesn't use a lot of flash inside like this. Like, it looks, to the human eye, this looks quite bright. The second you put your camera in it, there's just nothing really there. It's actually quite dark, and that's pretty much the case for all indoor venues. So basically find the light and find your equipment, and that's find what you like. Shoot the things you like, shoot the things you enjoy. Just don't do it if it's not fun. If you're not having fun, that's the right. I think you agree? Yeah. I think that's all I've really got to say. If anyone's got any questions, or if anything I said made absolutely no sense and wants some clarification, I'll be here all week. No, I'll be here today tomorrow. I'm also about that Twitch very fast. I'm nervous. We are on 1:05, so we have 25 minutes for questions, comments. Does anyone understand it? Anyone want to share experiences with photographers that they've had that you think about? Oh, Paul's got questions. I'm going to come to you. What's your question? Say again? Stabilizer. So a lot of cameras will come with a built-in stabilizer, which I would recommend if you're doing a lot of moving around. I would recommend turning on. And if you're prone to a lot of camera shake, if you yourself are not very steady, this is quite useful. Tripods really help. There's a thing called a monopod, so if you want to carry around something that's not quite so heavy, it's quite useful for just giving you that extra bit of stability. Is this get yourself. So I'd get, it's, like I was saying earlier, if you lean yourself up against things. Another thing to do if you're finding you're not very stable, the closer you hold your camera to your body, the more stable it's going to be because you're using yourself as well. So, can I borrow a camera and attach to things? I promise you look at it. Oh wow. That's so long. So a lot of things that I see with beginner camera users is holding cameras kind of like this. That's a lot of room for error. Don't do this. You get your non-dominant hand. Get your non-dominant hand under your lens so that you can do focus, etc. So you get hand under your camera lens, your hand under your camera lens, or whichever side is pressing buttons, and you get your other hand like this, fairly firm, and you want to keep your elbows in like this, and a lot of people kind of like this. But you keep your elbows in, you keep it close to this, like this, and that gives you more stability than you would have if you were doing it with the lens. With thumbs, you're holding your head with first, you've got the idea of what you can see on your screen as well, and also it's got extra stability for if you can have any other you can use for that kind of thing. It's very helpful. I'll give you the practice. Yeah, don't make that on me. I will pop it up. So if you don't have any equipment, that's a good sort of starting point to kind of just give yourself that extra bit of stability. You might still get some shake, nothing is ever 100% foolproof, but it just gives you that extra bit of sort of balance that you can have if you didn't have it before. Monopods are really useful if you just want to be able to sort of hike things around, tripods are a bit heavier. Find a table, find a wall, a step will do sometimes. As photographers and videographers, we learn to work with what we have, which sometimes isn't very much. But I've laid down on the floor. I've climbed up on things. I've balanced on other people. There's just the whole gamut of ridiculous stuff you do to get the shot that you want. Phil. I'm looking at you. But there's some really honestly ridiculous things that you wind up finding yourself doing as a photographer and as a videographer to get the type of shot that you want. I've had people do the same thing 6 times. It's just because it wasn't quite coming out the way I wanted it. So that's another thing as well actually, when you're asking people to take photos, don't be afraid to ask to take it more than once. If it's not come out right the first time, you're not restricted to that one shot. You can do it more than once. It's allowed. People aren't going to get, unless you literally hold on to them for a good 15 minutes straight, nobody's going to begrudge you that extra time that you need to get it right. And you can say as well, I'm a beginner and really want to practice. People are very forgiving, I find. Do you find?
Oh, yeah.
I find, yeah.
I've got a few things on the table.
Oh, thank God.
I'll give you a break. Thank you very much for that. So, photography literally means painting with light, drawing with light. And this is the thing you want to pay most attention to, whether it be composition, settings, what equipment you have. Ignore all that if you learn only one thing, it's you're using light. So for example, I look at the front row here and I can see that half of the face is in shadow and half of it is in highlight. And that could work out pretty well for a photo. It depends how you want your face to be sculpted. If I go a couple of rows back with the blonde lass with a tiara, very nice by the way. We've got a sort of, what's a term called a Rembrandt lighting. So the lighting kind of curves around the face, stops about the nose end, and it gives a pleasing effect in portraiture. So what I'm trying to say is don't have people stood in shadows. I can't find an example here, so that's fantastic. But don't stand in shadows, because my body is going to be nice and exposed, my face is going to be nice and dark, and unless that's the effect you're going for, you don't want to be. You don't want to be doing that. Pay attention to how your model looks as you point the camera towards them. sometimes it's just as simple as turning the face slightly or changing the angle of the camera, because if you're wanting to say, for example, go to front row again, and I'm wanting to stick in that lighting, but I want a bit more of the highlights in there, so I'm going to come over this way, maybe change my angle down there, and then so if you just look straight forward, so then I've got like about a third of his face in shadows, and I've got more in the highlights, so it gives a bit more decent effect. If you're shooting outside, you've got lots of light there. But lots of light is not always a good thing. You want to pay attention to how much light is coming through, especially where, as you come to high noon, you've got sun directly overhead, and you think, oh wow, lots of light, that's going to be fantastic. Not necessarily. You're going to have deep shadows around your eyes, down your nose, the chin as you come down here. Sorry? And yeah, absolutely, yeah, hats. You end up losing all this with hats. In fact, I had one earlier, there was Mad Hatter, I think it was. No, it was Woody, sorry. So if you see Woody, tell him Chris sent you. No, he had a hat on, and I had to get to tilt it up a bit so that the light reached his eyes. Otherwise, I'm losing half of his face to darkness, which is a fantastic idea. Now, you can manipulate lights. You've got, she said your name several times, and I've always forgotten it. Okay, but as our house drop to show you, he's using a flash, which is a great way of introducing your own light. Now the danger with that is you don't want to use a bare flash. You want to use, like this gentleman's done here, and put a diffuser on it to soften the light being thrown onto something. Now if you're used to using auto and you have your camera take care of the settings and most likely your pop and flash, you're going to notice a lot of the times that when that flash goes off, you've got a big white blotch in your model's face. It's not fantastic stuff like that, it's not what you're going for. So an easy way to combat that, and it's not even expensive either, is you can either use a piece of paper or a business card. You put your business card just under your flash, make sure it's clear on your lens, and it'll bounce the flash off for you with a similar way to what a diffuser will do. So that will help introduce the light into your subject, but it's not going to overwhelm you.
You can only do this with white business cards.
Oh yes, white business cards, yes. It needs to be a white card. Or a piece of paper. A white piece of paper, that will work out well. There's other things you can do to manipulate the light. You can use reflectors. A big fancy term, that's going to cost me hundreds of pounds. No, do you know what a reflector can be? A reflector can be, I'm just going to guide through this gentleman's equipment so I don't add to my insurance bill. Thank you very much. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a reflector. What the hell is he talking about? He's off his bloody rocket. No, honestly, light bounces off bright objects. White, silver, anything that looks like it's going to catch light well. Which side of my face is in darkness? This side, and the closest light source. In fact, you know what? I'll let you, because you've got both hands now. So if you'd like to demonstrate reflecting light onto me. And it's not, it doesn't need to be a huge effect, it just helps even out the highlights and shadows on the face. And all it is just a piece of paper. Nice and easy. I can't see. The idea is that you find a light source, and in here that's a bit harder because we've got all the light sources up here, so it's going to be a bit of guesswork involved. But you find the light source, you hold that parallel, or perpendicular, to your subject, so you get the light bouncing off and softening the darkness on one side. Other ways you can manipulate light, well, as a videographer, you might want constant light. So that's a bit more awkward, but however, we all have mobile phones with torches on. So you can use a torch to get a bit of constant light on them. And the benefit of that is that if I throw on my torch on camera, well, if I'm there you go. I hold that up to my face, and as I move it around my face, you can see the effect it has on the shadows on my features, even going up and down. So you can even use your phone as your own constant light source. again, you want to be a bit wary about having too close to focus so that's not blowing your subject out. But I think you're probably a little bit better off with a constant light as opposed to a flash. Flashes tend to be a lot more powerful, as you've got a lot more danger of blowing the highlights out, which is making part of your subject too white. Yeah, if you're used to using automatic, your flash is probably going to be triggered automatically. So I can't count for every single phone model, but you will be able to turn the flash off. You just have to be explicit about it. Make sure flash auto is turned off if you don't want to use it.
We have got 15 minutes. We've got some new people. Does anyone else have any questions? Any anecdotes about weird things they've done had to do for photo shoots? Philip, I'm looking at you. Hey?
The other day, got turfed out about
Oh yeah, the Leeds station. Has anyone been to Leeds? Is anyone Leeds local? Anyone? Woo! Yes, me too. Yeah, under Leeds station there's this amazing tunnel that has, I like to call it the tunnel of gay love. That is just because it's covered in rainbow lights. But it's an amazing location, and a film apparently has been turfed out of it. That happens a lot. You find amazing locations, and then it's like, you can't film here. And then you said about it, or shoot here. And it's very depressing. That's happened many times to many photographers, I'm sure. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to make some recommendations. So I said earlier that YouTube is a really good resource for finding advice and tips and tricks and things for photography and videography. I don't follow many photographers on YouTube, however I do follow a few videographers. Darius is really excellent. He has basically, he works with more narrative film, but he basically provided a 30-day mini course guide for the stuff we teach you in film school. So save yourself $9 grand a year and just watch that video if you want to go to film school. There you go, sorted. Brandon Lee is also a really good YouTuber. He does a lot more montage stuff, which is kind of similar to the kind of thing I do. My very, very, very first video that I ever made back in 2010 was a montage video, and it was commemorating the year abroad that I had in Japan. And so that kind of thing is just kind of where it's continued to go. If I can't turn it into a montage, I don't know. But yeah, so he does a lot of that kind of thing, and he also works a lot with kind of gimbals and things. So if you want to find out more about the different types of gimbals, there's a few different brands like the GN and the Feiyu are two really big ones. There's another one called the Moza, I think, and they're all kind of much of a muchness, but they all have different pros and cons that you might want to weigh up if you decide that that's the way you want to go. Altogether 400 quid. So that's probably good. Who else? Jevon Dovey is another one. He does a lot of kind of like 5 things to know, 10 like tips for, like easy to absorb kind of stuff and things like that. CMV makers. I think, like I said earlier, Sneaky Zebra. If you don't know Sneaky Zebra, what are you doing? 86 Floor, ditto. Electrospectrum and Little Geeky are also really amazing. Cinel Film is run by a guy called Adam Sinilioglu. He's Italian, I think. And he just has, if you want some really good examples of really, really good shot composition, Adam's a top notch. So Cinel Film, so CINELFILM, and he goes to places like Vienna, and there's one CMV he's got where there were cosplayers in pools and things and swimming, and it's just really good. So I can think off the top of my head, but please follow these people on YouTube. Is that it? I think we're going to wrap up unless anyone has any pressing. Oh yes.
I was just wondering, because you've been doing this for a while, what kind of like editing software?
That's a really good question. definitely should have covered it earlier. So I work on a Mac. My first laptop was a Mac, so when you get my Mac, I installed an iMovie free. It's quite intuitive, it's pretty simple to use. And then when I started making videos more often and getting more into my YouTube channel, I wanted to upgrade to something that could do a little bit more, so I used Final Cut Pro. It was about £200 when I bought it, but it's not like Premiere Pro where you have to keep paying monthly, so I bought it and done. So it lets you do things like put in special effects, it allows you to do a certain amount of colour grading, and kind of all the sorts of bits and pieces, more transitions, more title cards, all that kind of stuff, so that's really good. In terms of free software, there's one that I've just forgotten the name of, but there are lists out there of alternative like Adobe alternatives that are free. Premiere Pro is kind of the most famous one, but it's definitely not the only one that's out there. It's very expensive if you're using it very often, so there's tons of stuff out there. Do not use Windows Movie Maker or 3G. Hit film. There you go, guys. Use Hit film if it will work on your computer. Yeah. Anything else? Anyone else? Yeah? Good? Alright, thank you guys so much for coming. It's really lovely to have you all. Chris and I are going to be and Max are going to be doing kind of a little workshop after this. So if anyone would like to shadow any of us, and we'll talk you through kind of, how we work, the kinds of shots we're doing, how we're setting our cameras and things like that, please just meet us at the door, I guess. Is that all right? Yeah. And you can just follow us around for a bit, and we'll give you kind of an impromptu lesson, sort of, or at the very least, we'll give you more details.
We know what we're doing, honestly.
I promise. Yeah. So if anyone would like to join us for that, then please feel free. We'll probably do it for like half an hour or so, and then we'll see how it goes. And literally any questions, find us. Thank you guys so much.